Are we done yet? Are we there yet? Holy crap. It takes forever to set up this video thing, but so whatever. Yes, I'm in a new location, a different location. So I had to reset everything up. Yay me. Hello, lovely witches. This is Dawn. Sorry, I'm a little flustered because I had to reset up in a new location. We've got company coming over, so I have to clean and straighten things up. Yay me. I'm not a very organized person, so there's a lot for me to do. Anyway, but I wanted to make this video because it's kind of fun. It's more lighthearted. But before I get into that, I wanted to give a shout out to Dakota at Hallowed Cauldron and thank her for suggesting witch hazel for a deodorant. So I'm no longer going to use this other deodorant. The really healthy deodorant just doesn't work. And so I got this Arm & Hammer. It's less toxic, but it's still toxic. So I just mix a little witch hazel with water and some lavender essential oil and spritz it. And it's great. It works really, really well. So thank you, Dakota. I appreciate it. Okay, so this is 5 things that drive me bonkers about witchcraft. And this is, please don't take this seriously. Whatever you practice is what you practice, and I totally respect that. But there are some things that I find very restrictive that is coming from other people. That is what drives me bonkers. Is they say, "Oh, this is the way it has to be done," and so anyway, let me get into this. All right. So the first one, number 1. Initiation to be a witch. You have to be initiated by a witch to be a witch. This drives me bonkers because there's no such thing. I believe where it comes from is to be initiated into a coven is a requirement in my mind. A coven is a group of people who have been working together and they develop the rules, so to speak, the guidelines, and how are we going to do our rituals, what kind of rituals, what kind of spells, things we're going to do together. It develops into an organism. It's a system that's been programmed. So for you to be a part of that program, I guess you could say, that coven, you really do need to be initiated by somebody who already has that vibration, and they're going to pass that vibration on to you to allow you better access to the vibration that they've created through the coven. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If you understand Reiki and if you've been initiated to Reiki, you probably have a better understanding. Reiki is a programmed healing technique, and you need to have a practitioner initiate you into the practice of Reiki in order for the symbols to work well for you. Does that mean it's impossible to work with Reiki outside of the initiation? I don't think it's impossible. But I believe that the initiation, my experience anyway, is that it did make some adjustments and some changes. I actually really truly felt it in my body, and I had some physical responses to the initiation that I totally believe in it. So that's probably where it came from. But I truly believe in order to be a full participant into a coven, you really should be initiated by a coven member to fully participate. All right. So, but you do not need to be initiated by a witch in order to be a witch. If you are drawn to witchcraft, you practice witchcraft, you're a witch. Period. End of story. Nobody can tell you any different. Okay. The next thing is circle casting, and this doesn't drive me bonkers per se, but when somebody says you have to then I get a little resistant. I'm very independent. My mother brought me up to be very independent. So when somebody says you have to do it this way, I am very suspicious, and I look at it sideways, and before I make a decision as to whether it's true or not. Circle casting is a formality, a ritual formality for creating sacred space and a boundary for your energy and whatnot. I bless a white candle, and I ask the white candle to hold the vibration of pure love and light and pure source energy and expand it out into the space that I'm in to protect me. And that's it. That's all I do. I don't call the quarters, and I don't call on the elements and all that stuff. I just don't. Um, and I feel good about it. I feel okay about it. I don't feel like my workings are any less powerful because I don't cast a formal circle. So, there's that. Okay. Yes. Next one is this is the third one. Third one is about cursing and hexing and whatnot, and going against another person's will. Well, recently I just did a binding on somebody because he was seriously causing harm to another person, and he's a narcissist, and the person I am actually coaching, so I know her progress, and I know she has worked through all the karma, and she is free from the karma. She no longer needs him in her life to stir crap up to help her learn anything. She's learned her lesson, so it's time to move on. So I did a binding. It was against his will because he wants to put her in jail so he can own the farm. Period. That's his goal. He has no care or concern for this person whatsoever. So I did a binding. It is against his will. I don't care. He's causing harm. So, but I did a lot of work up ahead of time. So I'll do a video on that because I want to show you what I did and how I came to the conclusion that it was okay to do this. And really, if you're going to cast a spell on anybody, whether it's good or harm or whatever, you need to do work up ahead of time to make sure you have everybody's spirit guides on your side. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of resistance, and it's not going to work as well. Okay, so I'll just leave that there. I'll do another video on that. But cursing to do harm to somebody, in rare occasions, you need to smack somebody and to get them to stop trying to cause you harm. Yeah, you can throw them in the freezer. Try it. Put them in the freezer. And if they still don't go away and they still don't stop harming you, causing harm to you and your family, then it's time to do some whoop ass. But that doesn't mean you have to stay there. You don't need to stay angry or hateful. You don't need to get into that vibration. You just do what you need to do to get this person to stop, and then go back to living a peaceful life. Then, it's simple as that. I have not done any cursing. I've not had a need to, not felt like I needed to protect myself in that respect. So anyway, just leave that there. If you do curse somebody, just remember, just remember that there are consequences to everything we do. And it's important to make sure you're in alignment with what's going on in the spirit world, and see if the spirit guides are on your side saying, yes, you need to do this. We need you to do this. We want you to do this. This is a good thing. Then, then you're clear to go. And the way to get that information is through divination. So you need a divination system to confirm. I talk to my spirit guides, I can hear them, but I also use my pendulum to confirm the messages. Just so I like having that second confirmation. Okay, so this is the fourth one. Fourth one is skyclad. Okay, so Gardner, I don't know if you know this, but Gardner was the one who brought skyclad into the witchcraft tradition, I guess you could say. I don't think, as far as I could tell from my research, and which is not exhaustive by any means, and a lot is not known because they didn't write things down, because a lot of witches, our ancestors were not literate, so they just passed down stories. But anyway, as far as I can tell, our ancestors did not run around naked in the forest, in the woods. They did not practice naked. That's what skyclad means, by the way. Gardner brought it in to his coven that he developed, and it's part of Gardnerian witchcraft. So now, what you may not know is that Gardner was a nudist. He was very eccentric. When he retired, he bought a house, I think a house, or rented a house, or so, I can't remember. So, but anyway, it was enclosed, so he and his friends could come over and, run around naked. So I believe that's where it comes from. So I don't care for people, again, saying this is the way you have to present yourself to the goddess, is naked. I don't believe that. I don't agree with that. And I especially don't agree with pushing it on people. Now, I want to warn you, be careful. If you want to go skyclad, by all means do it. But make sure you're with people who are okay with it. And if you're looking at a coven to join a coven and they require you to go skyclad and you're not comfortable with it, walk away. There are plenty of other covens. You can find friends to get together with, to practice witchcraft with your clothes on. You do not have to do this naked. All right? All right, so we're on number 5. Okay, number 5 is the devil doesn't exist. And that Christianity made up the devil and Lucifer and Satan. Christianity made up very little. They have borrowed on other religions and to create their own, to create Christianity. Satan, Lucifer, and you could say even the devil and demons were all created or brought into our awareness pre-Christianity. They predate Christianity by thousands of years, okay? So Christianity did not make that up. That was already in existence in old writings. So, and what do I believe about it? I believe there is something there in the spirit world, and I can't quite put my fingers on it, but it's there. And it's not just discarnate human beings who are assholes, who are, doing the ugly things. I believe there is something, some type of intelligence even behind that, beyond that. And I can't quite put my finger on it. And my take on the fall, okay, so the story of Genesis, and Eve ate of the fruit that was forbidden and gave it to Adam, and they were kicked out of the garden. Well, this is my take. Eating the fruit was a symbol of agreeing to descend, fall into the material world, okay, to reduce their or lower their vibration so that they would become material, solid in this three-dimensional world. They were not kicked out of the garden. They agreed to leave, to descend, to fall. And the third of the angels fell with them. Okay, so this, I had a thought, what if these angels were assigned? I don't know that angels really have free will. They are created beings, kind of like artificial intelligence, so to speak. They are programmed to do certain things. That's just my take. And they were assigned to be assholes to us, so to help us grow. Because if you go to the gym and you use the light weights and just pump it a couple times, okay, I'm done. You're not going to get anywhere. But if you got these demons acting on you and these, you know what I mean, then it makes things even more difficult, which helps us to grow because then we have more challenges. Just my thoughts, my ideas, but I do not believe Christianity made up the devil. The devil has been around for a very, very long time, predates Christianity by thousands of years at least. Okay, so that's my 5 things that make me bonkers about witchcraft, and I'd love to hear what you think. Of course, nothing I said is set in stone. I can't prove a lot of this. But the bottom line is, don't let anybody tell you that the only way to practice witchcraft is to be naked, or the only way to practice witchcraft is you cast a circle. You have to cast a circle. It's just nonsense. It's your path. It is something that you develop. You program your energy to follow certain instructions that you have put into it. And it's really all about you, okay? It's your path, and I honor and respect your path and whatever way you want to express it. If you want to go skyclad, more power to you. I don't feel it's necessary for me. And I appreciate that we witches have these different ways of expressing our spiritual path. And I appreciate that, and I can learn from people who practice differently, and I appreciate that as well. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate you being here, and your comments and your thoughts and opinions. I really do appreciate that. So do something today that brings you joy and makes you feel good. I love you all, and until next time, blessed be.